Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, June the 14th, 2023, June the 14th. Not a lot of action, everybody. It really wasn't a lot of action, but you know what? Some minor movements. Let's talk about them. We have Summer Pool, second guy. Summer Pool, look at that cameo. You know he worked out for that. Because Curtis was always kind of on the thinner side, right? Woo, look at man, go ahead, Curtis. You like, I'm taking my shot with the pool. The only thing that they didn't do was do the whole, you know how they like to catch the guys, the peck movement coming out of the water. They didn't do that with Spencer either. That was interesting. So they didn't with Curtis. Yeah, we saw him in the water, but then we didn't really see him coming up out of the water. Just saw him after trying to put the towel around himself. And Trina gave him a gift. It was a frame. She came a little late, not too late. It was one of those frames that a kid would make. You know how they glue the pasta on the rims of the frame. And she gave it to him privately, just him and her at the table. She said, "You never got any of the gifts that I made as a child. So I wanted you to have this one." And I'm thinking, well, you know what? That wasn't from when she was a child, but it was a really great thought because now he knows she's his child. This is new to him. So this is the first gift his child is giving him. It has the same effect and he loved it. And she goes, now maybe, you'll have a picture one day of you and I to put in it. Very, very sweet thought, Trina. I said, kudos to you. She's taking baby steps. She's being thoughtful. I liked it. And he goes, wait, let's do it now. So they do a selfie, cute selfie of the two of them, and he's gonna have that printed and put that in the frame. That was really cute. Then we have Jordan. Jordan wanted to talk to Zeke. He came in and she says, look, can we have lunch? We need to talk. He says, oh man, I really wish I would, but I'm meeting a client. And she goes, you're going to have to stop saying that. He goes, well, I'm from out of town. So when I am here is because a client is bringing me here. And I do. I mean, I have back to back, and sometimes I'll get more than one client while I'm here. He says, but hey, how about dinner? Now that you text me, I have your number. He said, can I text you later and let's see if we could get together for dinner? And she goes, sure. And I thought, okay, so Drew came in. He goes, my client now. So he goes over and he sits with Drew. And as she's going to the elevator, Taggart stumbles off the elevator. I mean, he was drunker than a skunk, couldn't even walk straight. Hey, Jordan, my friend, why don't you come have a drink with me, Jordan? And she's like, woo, Taggart, it's only 11 o'clock in the morning and you're drunk like this? And he goes, they're sitting at the bar and he's talking and he's just, feeling bad, and rightfully so, tore down bad. So she goes, you know what? Come on, let's get you out of here. Come on. So let's get you back upstairs. So she's, kind of steadying him. They're going to the elevator and Zeke catches the back of Taggart, but he sees Jordan taking this man, into the elevator, and he's thinking, like, it's like I know him, right? So later he told Drew, he goes, I think I just saw my ex brother-in-law getting on the elevator, right? So we're gonna really Jordan's trying to talk to him because she texts when she texts him, she says, look, we need to talk. Actually, when she left Taggart's room, she goes, Zeke, boy, we've got to talk before you start talking to your sister. She's thinking, oh man. And in my mind, I'm thinking, Jordan, let's be real. deep down, you would love for him to tell Jordan you kissed Curtis and Curtis kissed you before he went back to his wife, right? You're not telling. Somebody else is letting the cat out of the bag. Jordan, so be it. No skin off your nose, right? You be Curtis. You're so big on truth and honesty. You didn't tell your wife you kissed your ex-wife, Curtis? Okay, right? Because Portia's trying to pump Curtis at the pool. Where are we, Curtis? Where do we stand? I mean, is there a chance for us to be a real family? And he goes, yeah, there's a chance. And oh, she's smiling, right? Stella, overzealous Stella. Oh, come on, baby, because Trina came, oh goodness, this is so good to have the family together. Oh, wait, let's get our first family picture. Trina goes, excuse me, and Stella's leaving to go get her phone to take the picture. Trina's like, excuse me, I got to go to the ladies' room. So she just dashes out of there, and Curtis looks. And Stella goes, what is it? Something I said? Yeah, Stella. Tact. It's baby steps, Stella. Seriously. And that's what Marshall ended up telling her, because Marshall was over at the other table with Stella while Portia was trying to pump Curtis in her bikini, right? And he was telling her, you're pushing too hard, Stella. I know I have a habit. I'll rein it in. Yeah, rein it in, Stella. So anyway, back to Taggart and Jordan. And he was just talking about, Jordan, I knew there was a possibility that Trina wasn't my daughter. And I thought I prepared myself for that. He goes, but you know what? You can't ever prepare yourself to wake up one day with a daughter and then find out later that day you don't have a daughter. He goes, and he's crying, right? He goes, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. He goes, I try, if I see Trina, to put on a brave face. He says, but I've just been, the life sucked, right? And so he says, I used to look at her when she would smile, and I would say, look, the way she giggles and everything, that's my sister Gia's smile. That's Gia's smile. And she would say, and he said something else that reminded me of my mother, I think he said. And he goes, but you know what? It's not true. There's none of me in her. None. That kind of touched me a little bit, everybody. That kind of touched me a bit. So she goes, Taggart, you are who's made Trina who she is today. You are in her. Your guidance is in her. Trina's Trina because of you. DNA doesn't dictate that, and that can't be taken away from you. And he looked at Jordan and he goes, but it already has been. Oh man, right? I was like, okay, they're having him have some real honest feelings about that. See, Tommy had died years before, right? Sean had been taking care of TJ for years, just as Uncle Sean. While Jordan was undercover, Sean was raising that boy. So it was easier for Sean, even though he was pissed off at Jordan. TJ, we know how that went. Took him about a year. But TJ's father was dead, so there was no one to mourn that loss. The only one mourning the loss was Stella. She was pissed. And Curtis was a little upset because Curtis isn't really Uncle Curtis, right? So um, Jordan didn't have to get that backlash from the man losing and the man gaining. Jordan didn't have to. She just had to get a little bit from the man gaining because you let me go. Can't say all TJ's life because Sean was the major father figure in TJ's life, period. So he at least had that, but not knowing this child I'm raising calling me Uncle Sean is really my child. But at least he got to love him as a child and raise TJ. So that was good on that part. Now, Sasha. It was Sasha's meeting with the psychiatrist, the first meeting, because they're starting the series. And Gladys before them, oh, she was trying, but I don't think you're ready. But look at what happened on Home and Health. She goes, what happened? I handled the situation. Yeah, but you almost had a melt. She goes, no, Gladys. I was being sabotaged by the producers. I wasn't hearing Liam crying in my mind. I was hearing it through the earpiece they were pumping in my ear. There's a different Gladys. And I pulled it together and I did very well. And Sam and Dante walked up and Sam said, and she goes, thanks to Cody. And Gladys like, I don't know why. Why is it I'm the only one that knows Cody Bell? And so Sam and Dante are walking up like, what about Cody? And so Sam is like, well, Cody did right by Sasha. And Gladys says, have we all forgotten? He stole an expensive bracelet. And Sam said, allegedly. And she looks at Gladys. Gladys looks at her. She goes, but aren't you? She goes, well, are you here to see Willow? And Sasha says, yes, I'm going to see Willow, but I have an appointment with the psychiatrist to, I'm making the steps to get my guardianship canceled. And Gladys is like, and so Sam goes, that's fantastic, Sasha. I'm so happy for you. And Dante, happy for you too, right? And Sam looks at Gladys. Aren't you happy for Sasha? What? I'm just, of course, I'm happy for, but I don't want her to make steps that's too soon, right? And so Sam gets a phone call. She has to walk away, but Dante and Sam, when she comes back, they pretty much say, well, they're ready to go see Ned. And Sasha and Gladys sit down, and Sasha just said, Gladys, I don't know. I'm starting to get the feeling you don't believe in me. No, Sasha, that's not it. No. She goes, because I'm ready, Gladys. I feel you are not acknowledging and looking at the improvements I have made in this year. Well, no, that's just not it. I'm just saying why rush. She goes, it's not a rush, Gladys. I'm ready. And I'm ready for this meeting. So the psychologist comes out, or psychologist, probably psychologist, comes out, and Gladys sees him, and he sees her. And so he goes, Miss Corbin, talking to Sasha Corbin, Dr. So-and-so, it's time for your appointment. Let's go on in the office. Gladys jumps up. Oh, good, because I got a bunch of questions. I've got insight. He goes, no. This is just between Sasha and myself. This is a one-on-one meeting. Well, I'm the guardian. I should be able to have input. He goes, oh, you will. There'll be a time and a place, but this meeting is not that time and that place. So he goes in, he talks to Sasha. Sasha's, let him know she's a little nervous, but she holds her own. And the meeting went well. He comes out. Sasha leaves because she wants to go see Willow. And Gladys is there. So she goes, fancy meeting you here. And he goes, yeah, you too. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. She goes, shouldn't you recuse yourself from Sasha's case? He said, why? What I do in my personal life, it's not conflicting with my professional life. So no, I'm just fine. And he goes, so when are we going to see you again at Miss Wu's games at the Savoy? And I thought, oh no. He sees Gladys losing all this money, right? But what I'm thinking Gladys is going to do, she's going to say, well, you're saying it doesn't conflict, but I think if I tell that you're participating in secret illegal gambling at the Savoy, it's going to affect your professional life. Because really, it is secret illegal gambling. Really? But look, let me tell you something, y'all. I'm going to an established nightclub, which happens to have card games in the back. You mean that was illegal? Wait, what? I thought it was okay. See, Curtis would be in so much trouble, right? Wu too. But no, Gladys, in reality, he would look at her and say, you're not going to say anything because I'm willing to bet the money you've been losing at Miss Wu's games are Miss Gilmore. Or is she going by Gilmore? She might be going back by Gilmore. Sasha Gilmore. I think she is. It's Miss Gilmore's money. So I think you're not going to say anything, Gladys Corbin. If you do decide to say something, Miss Corbin, I think I'm going to tell Miss Wu that her card game participant is out there slandering her business and trying to break the privacy of the other players. I don't think Miss Wu would like that at all. So I think you better stay out of it. There is no way Gladys has the upper hand in this situation at all. Because he would be like, you tell all you want. You're the one, I'm not going to jail. I'm going to say, well, I thought they were fine, right? You, on the other hand, have embezzled, stole, and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars that did not belong to you. Matter of fact, you know what? I think I need to be the whistleblower, Miss Corbin. And that would shut Gladys up. But see, we were wondering, how could Gladys derail this? And I don't like the fact they better not write it this way. Actually, they might. Because do you see how big Sasha is in real life, the actress? She's about ready to have that baby. So they need to have an event happen in her life where she just leaves for a few months. The event is going to either be Gladys tries to block it and she finds out Gladys has stolen her money and she has to just leave to just clear her head, or the psychiatrist is going to do a complete 180, say she's not ready, and she wonder why not, because I think I've done so well, and and it messed with her head and she leaves. Either way, they're going to write some type of exit for Sasha. And I don't know what type of exit that's going to be. But see, to me, in reality, Gladys needs to get hers. But by the simple fact that Wu is trying to make her get information on Sonny's business, and we've got Mason in the clan and Austin trying to pressure Ava to get information on Sonny's business, right? I kind of think Gladys might be hanging around for a minute. I kind of think that. So I don't know. We'll see. They get, Sasha has suffered enough hard blows to me to just keep giving Sasha hit after hit after hit. I don't think that's fair to her at all. Right? So now we have Carly. She goes to the hospital. She brings Olivia 4 coffees for anybody there that wants coffee. It's just Olivia and Brooklyn there. Olivia was praying all night and crying. And so she brings it to her, and Olivia's like, Carly. And so TJ comes out. I have news regarding your husband. And Carly says, I'm going to go ahead and leave. Right? So she goes to leave. And Olivia says, Carly, you could stay. Can you stay with me? She goes, of course, of course. So she puts her arm around, and TJ says, look, the medications we gave, we were hoping the swelling would go down more than it has. I'm going to evaluate more tests. Isn't it funny? Even though Finn is around, but Finn is infectious diseases. TJ seems to be the only working doctor at General Hospital. What is that about? It's General Hospital. We should have doctors of all kinds. Back in the day, there were so many doctors of all kinds walking back and forth, right? So he's the one that's telling everybody everything. So he says, we're going to look at more test results and we're going to make a determination. And oh, Olivia's just crying and crying, and Carly's just, trying to console her. And she says, oh, thank God that Drew was there and got it out, because Ned suffered, some oxygen loss. And oh, if Drew wouldn't have been there to pull him out, Ned wouldn't be here. So Carly goes, of course, Drew would do that for anyone. Olivia's back was to Carly when she's saying, and she's crying. She kind of straightens up and she looks at Carly. What did you just say? And Carly she goes, thinking, what did I just say? She goes, perhaps I misspoke something. Carly's trying to figure out, what did I say, right? Olivia says, you said Drew would do that for anyone. You're trying to say, get this little gray hair up in here, everybody, there's gray up there. She says, in other words, see, even somebody like Ned, because you all feel that Ned is the one that turned you into the SCC. So you're probably feeling Ned doesn't deserve to live. And Carly's like, no, Olivia, that absolutely is not what I'm thinking and feeling. No. She goes, and Olivia's just yelling at her. And Carly's like, Olivia, I didn't come to upset you. Well, you get out of here. Ned only needs people in his corner, and you're clearly not in his corner. You're bringing bad energy over here. And she's like, okay. And now Carly, Dante and Sam are walking up. And he goes, everything okay over here? And Carly goes, yes, I'm just leaving. So Carly leaves. Dante's like, Mom, what happened? And she's crying, never do nothing to this. So she's thinking, I probably am overreacting, because she's distraught. She's been up all night. And so Carly leaves. She meets Drew in the MetroCourt Terrace, and they're talking. And she got a call from Diane. And Diane says that the SEC called her. They wanted them to come and meet. So she was coming to the MetroCourt. Because remember, Drew had Zeke. After he met Zeke, Zeke was going downstairs to put the deal in the works, where Drew was going to plead guilty. What kind of deal? He's going to take all responsibility. And so Carly says, okay, but look, Diane, just know this. I'm not turning on anybody. I'm not turning on not one person I love. So you remember, she goes, okay, Carly, So Drew is like, Carly, both of us don't have to go down for this. Only one of us has to go down for this. And Carly just looks at him like, oh, you're right. In her mind, she's thinking, he's telling me to go down for it when she's the one that did it. And here's the thing, she said it over and over again. I did this. I'm not turning on anybody else. I will take my consequences. Right? Cardi's always said that. But now, see, the way Drew's saying it, I'm thinking, look, you idiot. You, for one, saying it wrong, making her think you want to throw her under the bus when really there is no throwing her under the bus. She did it. You told her not to. But the way you're saying it, because you guys were a deal, you were a pack, right? But I think tomorrow he's going to tell her the deal he has in the works. But they were talking before she got the call, and they said, oh my God, because she told him Ned, because she didn't get, Ned has swelling on the head. They thought it wouldn't go, you would go down, and it hasn't. It's not going that well. And she goes, so that's not going to help us for our plan. And he goes, I've got information against Tracy, you know, to blackmail her so she could get Ned to find out who turned us in. And so she goes, but if Ned does not wake up in any kind of, you know, anytime soon, doesn't matter what you have on Tracy. And he goes, oh, So she goes, he goes, So now they're thinking, then Diane calls and the whole thing happens. So tomorrow he's going to tell her what he really means, right? And she's going to say, no, you are not going to take the fall for something I did. No, oh, you know, we're going to go back and forth with that, right? So, or she's going to say, I knew you would turn on me. So we'll see how they're going to write that. But there is no turn on you, Carly. You did it. So we'll see how they're going to write. And she says, she goes, I was just down with Olivia. And he goes, how did it go? She goes, oh, I think I made things worse. I said something and Olivia took it all out of context. He goes, no, Olivia's distraught, Carly. She needed somebody to lash out with her worry and her fear and anxiety over Ned's condition, and you were that person. That's all it is. You were the person to take the brunt of that. So anyway, we shall see. We shall see how they're going to play it with the SEC situation going on. That is it, everybody. That's it that happened in GH land. Let's go to comment corner. Cindy said, we don't know if Jordan and Zeke used birth control. The whole thing was spontaneous. They had both been drinking, and Jordan has no reason to carry birth control with her because she hasn't been active in 2 years. A surprise could be forthcoming. Jordan is too old. Now, yes, it's possible. Jordan has to be in her probably mid-40s, right? That would be a very, very high risk pregnancies, but they make women in soaps have babies up until they're about 50, right? Carly's pregnancy with Donna was at risk. Truly. Ava and Avery was questionable. I mean, come on now. Her son and her son's partners trying to have a baby, her grandbaby. She shouldn't be rolling around beating them to the punch, right? Because they're having problems, and now she gonna be, hey, oh, mommy's pregnant. No. So Cindy says, why do the residents of Port Charles keep discussing secretive matters in public? Ava and Austin would have complete privacy at Windermere, but chose instead to have this conversation at the Metro Court in an unsealed room where anyone could walk by. Absolutely. Cindis also says, Dex barely said anything in the conversation with Michael and Carly. Joss did most of the talking. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, and yes, she always does. At one point, Michael made the offer to Dex, and Jocelyn said no. And Michael said, I'm talking to Dex, right? And Michael was talking to Dex, not Joss. Their relationship is setting up where she's domineering and he is soft-spoken. Isn't that just the way Cameron was? Right? Isn't that just the way Cameron was? And actually, Oscar too. Oscar was very soft-spoken, right? And then LaShanta says, rest in peace, Bobby. Jocelyn thinks with her heart and not her head, Tracy should be locked up. This is the second time she lied, really, to the police, falsely accusing people. So Michael's going to run the business, well, if it keeps them safe, because Sonny's got snakes everywhere. Have a seat, Joss. My thing is, Sonny will find out, but he is slipping since Jason. Yeah, Ava, you in the hot seat now. You better help Sonny because Austin is a snake too. Why she didn't think Austin would want payback for Nicholas. He's manipulating her. I love it. I know, you know what? It's good to see Ava in the hot seat now. Because she has been so happy sitting on the sideline, instigating, causing all kind of trouble. Good, Ava. You figure it out, right? Ava and Avery's toast without Sonny. Chase saw Nina on the footage and she did nothing. He's going to question her. She acted surprised when Sonny got the call. Yeah, Ava's keep digging that hole. I can't wait till Olivia finds out Nina is the cause of this. Well, she was running after Ned. Ned, stupid behind, is the one that tripped and fell on that towel on the floor, and he wasn't looking where he was going, but she was chasing him, and Chase is going to wonder because the camera's going to show her running up like, and then watching him fall, and then ooh, yikes, and then looking to see and saw Tracy was there, maybe Austin is setting Ava up was setting Ava up from the start. I never liked him. I didn't either, except with Britt. To me, him and Britt made a great couple. Remember, he spent the night plotting. After he and Ava put the body in that shed, he did stay. And I already knew, but it showed him leaving. He left the house, but then in the morning he was there. And I thought, where did he go? In my mind, I said, you know what? He probably has something. Austin moved that body. Dante would have arrested Tracy. He don't give Tracy a break good, especially so what she did to his Sam's mama, right? Now everyone's going to be suspicious of why Tracy lied. What if it wasn't footage? Nina wasn't forthcoming. No, she wasn't. And Penny says Joss isn't thinking at all. And if she is, then it is with her hormones. She's coming across spoiled, self-centered, and immature. Gloria says, I'm going to miss Bobby Spencer. And I meant to say, I love your comments. May God bless you all. Bless you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Gloria. Gloria also says, hello, I just love your comments. Hope that Nina to stop. Hope Nina is stopped or stops. She hasn't learned anything yet. She wants to have no one to care. Well, your comment kind of got a little jumbled up there. Okay. She is no good for anyone. Sonny and Carly need to get back together. God bless you. Okay, thank you so much. Gloria. Catherine says, I still think Austin and Mason hooked Ava. And Austin was part of the Maxie story as he owned the house that Peter used. I know that's true. They never really truly tied that whole thing in. He was the mob. They were working for Peter. Austin knew. And we just didn't get down to it, right? And yes, I think he's been in on it. They just decided Maxie was a detour, really, for him. And plus, they didn't work together, chemistry on camera at all. Michelle says Chase noticed that Nina was in the footage running towards Ned, and then he got a second text on Nina, and he looked right at her. So yeah, not once but twice. That is so true. He did. The other text probably showed her tiptoeing away, right? Probably showed her tiptoeing away. Or look, they could have got more camera. The pool, Carly added them to the pool top, but there's cameras elsewhere. Maybe he got some other views of them maybe running to the top. We'll see. Lucy says, it was great to see a memory of Jackie Zeman on Monday, the 12th episode. Yes, that was. Ron says, Michael is a mama's boy and always will be, but he would do anything that she says without question. And Josh thinks she can control Dex, but found out she couldn't. Josh has to remember Carly is still Queen Bee. Chase suspects Nina of not telling the truth and would have seen her on the footage as well. He will get to her. Yeah, he will. He's going to question her. And he's going to tell her, why didn't you? Well, you knew Tracy Quartermain was lying about what happened. Why would you stand there and not say anything? What do you have against Drew Kane? Right. Start putting that together. Okay. Well, that's it, everybody. That's it for the daily recap of General Hospital. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap.